Good afternoon, everybody. You'll have to excuse me. I have a lot of practice riding bikes and fixing bikes, but not too much practice with public speaking. My name is Arlen Makasib. Today I stand before you representing the 600 people who lose their lives each year to traffic violence in our state and never have the chance to tell their stories. Unlike them, I was fortunate enough to survive a horrific crash. My survival is not just a second chance at life. It is also a responsibility to speak out for those who cannot. Every statistic represents a life, a family forever changed. My story is one of many, and together we must ensure that no one else becomes a victim of traffic violence. I am the son of Filipino immigrants, a brother, a husband, and a father of two. They're sitting back there. I'm a former professional triathlete and have raced over 20 Ironman events. I'm also what you can call a quintessential Jersey boy. I was raised in Clifton, went to high school at Seton Hall Prep, my undergrad at Rutgers, and my master's at Montclair State University. And every now and then, when I have a cheat day, I'll have a bacon, egg, and cheese for breakfast. In my triathlon career, like most people, I have experienced both triumph and tragedy. Because of my parents' heritage, I was able to represent the Philippines and became a 3-time national champion. I won 2 bronze medals in the Southeast Asian Games and became the first Filipino to finish the Ironman World Championship in Kona, Hawaii. I have also run the Boston Marathon 4 times, I think at Governor Murphy's old stomping grounds. And I was also there in 2013 when the bombs went off at the finish line on Boylston Street. An Ironman triathlon consists of a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, and a 26.2-mile marathon. It was on these New Jersey roads where I rode and ran on an almost daily basis for over 3 decades, training for these events. I once cycled the entire length of New Jersey, 211 miles from High Point to Cape May, and it never once crossed my mind that cycling and running on these roads, which were supposed to be healthy activities, could be hazardous for my health. September 4th, 2021 was a day that a crash changed my life forever. It was a beautiful, sunny Saturday on Labor Day weekend, and I took advantage of the nice weather, as I had done hundreds of times before, by going out for a bike ride. After about 10 miles, I stopped at an intersection in Fairfield, New Jersey. When the traffic light turned from red to green, as soon as I pushed off, I felt an impact from behind. It was like I was hit with the force of a 4,000-pound baseball bat. Everything just went white. I remember my head bouncing on the ground and then being pushed forward uncontrollably with my teeth grinding the asphalt. I remember having to adjust my head position ever so slightly so that my helmet would take the brunt of the friction rather than my face. My right arm, unfortunately, was wedged underneath me and took the majority of the damage as my body was dragged approximately 130 feet before the driver of the car finally realized that there was something, and more importantly, someone, underneath his car. I sustained several injuries. The bones of my right hand were broken, and I lost all the skin and tendons on the back of my hand. The heads of both my shoulders were shattered into pieces, my ribs were fractured, lungs punctured, teeth broken, my face and body covered with wounds from head to toe. I was practically unrecognizable. To save my hand, the doctors had to use skin from my abdomen to place on the back of my hand where it had been shredded off. For 1 month, my hand was sewn into my belly so that the skin graft would receive an adequate blood supply. They then had to take skin from my thigh to cover the missing skin on my abdomen. In total, I spent 1 week in the ICU, followed by 3 weeks at St. Joseph's Hospital. I then spent another month at the Kessler Institute before I finally came home. Survivorship for road traffic victims and our families is a subject not often talked about. There is so much trauma that we have to overcome, both physically, but more important, mentally and emotionally. I've had an amazing team of doctors, nurses, and therapists who have helped me with the physical healing. And believe it or not, I have gotten back on the bike and am running again. However, I'm still undergoing surgery to restore function in my hand and shoulder. To date, I've had a total of 12 major surgeries. A lot of my friends and even my own children have stopped riding their bikes after hearing about my crash. And although I don't believe anyone should give up this beautiful activity, which I love, I do understand the power of fear. Too many of our roads have been designed for people and motor vehicles, and both pedestrians and cyclists like myself have to share space with these machines, which weigh thousands of pounds and travel at high speeds. They are driven by people who make mistakes, but those mistakes shouldn't put our lives at risk. This is why today's signing of the New Jersey Target Zero Commission Bill is so significant. It marks a commitment to the building of infrastructure that will protect cyclists, walkers, and all road users. A big part of my emotional healing has been because of the group called Families for Safe Streets New Jersey, launched by Sangeeta Baldani with the Nikhil Baldani Foundation, as well as Sonia Setsna and Corey Hannigan with the Tri-State Transportation Campaign. The group provides support and a platform for victims like me and families of victims to turn our tragedies into action and address the root causes of traffic violence. Together with other advocates in the Vision Zero New Jersey Alliance, such as Deborah Kagan with the New Jersey Bike and Walk Coalition, John Boyle with the Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia, and Jim Hunt, who have all worked tirelessly on this bill to create the nation's first statewide plan to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injuries by 2040. I'm also very thankful to our allies here in Trent, like Senator Duignan and Assemblyman Karabinchak, who have also sponsored the safe passing law that was passed in 2021. Finally, it is with great honor and privilege that I introduce the next speaker. He's a champion of the environment, boosting clean energy in our state, and with the recent LA fires, we know how important that is. He is also a champion of sport and was instrumental in bringing the World Cup here next year. He has spent time in China and Germany, both parts of the world that have bike cultures and an infrastructure that allow and encourage alternative transportation. He's also a lot taller than I thought he was going to be. So without further ado, our Governor, Phil Murphy.
Okay, in the dictionary, under the beside the phrase "short straw" is a picture of me following Arlen speaking. Good Lord, let's hear it one more time for this guy. I have run exactly one marathon, Arlen, and 3 half marathons, and they about killed me. So I can't imagine what your endurance is like. God bless you. What an incredible story. I'll come back to you if I may in a minute. But you know, we do a lot of events. We sign a lot of bills, and hopefully, overwhelmingly, they're for the good. That they make New Jersey somehow better, stronger, safer, fairer, whatever it might be. But there are very few, and this is one of them, that have as much emotion associated with them as this one does. And I say very, very few. I signed a bill, I'll talk about Louisa in a minute. I signed a bill in Louisa Carmen's memory last summer. She was killed in a car crash on New Year's Day last year. Again, I'll come back to her. That was in this room, and that had the level of emotion that I feel in this room right now. So I'm incredibly humbled to be with you all today. I want to acknowledge a few important folks here. Our administration is here in size. Most importantly, the Commissioner of the Department of Transportation, Fran O'Connor, not because he's necessarily bigger, better, stronger, faster than the other folks, but Fran's going to chair this commission. And that gives you a primus inter pares recognition. I'll come back to my other colleagues in a moment. The aforementioned sponsors, the Senator Pat Duignan and Assemblyman Rob Karabinchak. I used to say, and I still say, you can't go into Middlesex County unless you can pronounce the word Karabinchak. But thank you both for being here, and we're going to hear from each one of them in a minute. I also want to acknowledge Essex County Commissioner and dear friend Brendan Gill. And Brendan is not just a commissioner in Essex County, but he introduced me to Deborah Kagan. Is Deborah here? Deborah, about 1,000 years ago, long before I was governor, and through the discussions with the Walk and Bike Coalition, I first began to get my arms around the challenges that hopefully this bill and commission will solve. I also want to acknowledge Hudson County Executive Craig Guy, who was another great leader, and thank you, Craig, as well, for being here, and for all of you for your commitment to making New Jersey streets safer for everybody. Anthony Varelli is with us. Is that you, John Allen, behind you? Nice to see you guys here as well from the Assembly. I hope I'll see you tomorrow for the State of the State. We'll be taking attendance. Superintendent of the State Police, Colonel Pat Callahan, extremely important in so many respects, and certainly in this one. Commissioner of the Department of Environmental Protection, V. Sean LaTourette. Caitlin Baston, the Commissioner of the Department of Health. Jacqueline Suarez, who is the Commissioner of the Department of Community Affairs. In fact, after this, can we get 1 minute on another matter? Thank you for that. And to everybody who are here today, I thank each one of these exceptional leaders. I think they would agree with me that the greatest debt of gratitude is owed to all of the tremendous advocates who have fought, and in many cases, even through grief, to get this legislation to the finish line. Those advocates include, and if I leave somebody out, please forgive me, Sangeeta and Sunil Badlani. And again, Sangeeta, where are you? I'm going to be with you tomorrow. Sangeeta will be a special guest as well at the State of the State. Thank you for that. Arland, obviously we've heard from with an extraordinary story. John Boyle, Stephen Dunn, Pam O'Donnell, Larry Kleins, Wendy Kukowski, Catherine Bull, Kate O'Connor, Carolina Baranowski, Sandor Barksa, the Vision Zero Alliance, I mentioned Bike and Walk Coalition, and the many more family members and friends leading the charge, not just in this room, but beyond these walls. And to each of you, let me say, you are nothing short of heroes. I thank you all for your courage and unimaginable strength, and I thank you for helping us to prevent any other family from experiencing this kind of loss. But as it stands, far too many New Jerseyans have felt your pain. Last year, New Jersey, the nation, hockey fans around the world, especially in Canada, joined us in grief when our very own Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau were killed while biking mere blocks from their childhood home. The Gaudreau family's experience brought attention to the agony that every family in this room has felt firsthand. Their loved ones joined a club no one should ever have to be a part of, a club that now includes more than 690 New Jersey families who lost a loved one in a traffic accident in the past year alone. I am 67 years old, which means while I have a tablet, I still get a physical newspaper delivered in the day because I like to hold the newspaper. Dignan would be in the same league with me. And whether it's the Ledger or the Asbury Park Press, and those are the two ones that I probably physically read the most. And you all will appreciate this, even if you've not had a family member to live through this sort of tragedy. Every day when you read those little captions on the side of the page, you're seeing 1, 2, 3 folks who were killed in some form of a pedestrian, cycle, or car accident, or car crash, rather. And these are not simply statistics. They are tragedies that no family will ever truly recover from. A few moments ago, we heard of one of those families when Arlen went through his extraordinary life and story. Obviously, he's an experienced biker, as you heard, a decorated triathlete, and yet no matter how experienced a biker that you may have been, there was nothing that you personally could have done on that September day to save yourself from the carelessness of the driver that nearly took your life. But there is something that we can all do today to prevent lives like whether it's Arlen's being severely injured or others who have lost their lives from being taken or forever changed. And that's precisely why we're gathered this afternoon to sign a life-saving piece of legislation into law establishing the Target Zero Commission. Again, as Arlen mentioned, a commission that will work toward our goal of eliminating roadway fatalities and serious injuries throughout the state by the year 2040. In establishing this commission, which, by the way, will be a whole-of-government commission, it's not a coincidence. We have a number of our commissioners and leaders with us today. and not just establishing it, but empowering it to propose and then implement evidence-based initiatives to end traffic fatalities. We are taking a crucial step toward ensuring that a walk, a drive, or a bike ride never again results in an empty seat at the table. For those of us in our administration, I mentioned this a minute ago, that goal is deeply personal. I mentioned that last year on New Year's Day, we lost one of our very own, the brilliant Louisa Carmen. She was just 25 years old. And though she was taken from us far too soon, she made a tremendous impact on our state and our world in the years she had. She worked tirelessly to make our state's healthcare system more accessible and affordable for every New Jerseyan. And as I mentioned over the summer, I had the great privilege of signing the Louisa Carmen Medical Debt Relief Act into law to memorialize her phenomenal contributions to our state and to make the world a little bit better in her honor. She was full of incredible promise, and we can only imagine what she could have accomplished if a reckless driver had not stolen her from us. Sangeeta, tomorrow I'm going to acknowledge and honor Nikhil, your precious 11-year-old who you lost several years ago, similar, that he should be here today, and sadly he's not. I know that's a question so many people here today have asked themselves about the loved ones in the pictures that you're holding in this room, every one of them a bright light extinguished far too soon. I am eternally grateful to all the families here today for keeping their loved ones' memories alive, for their courage in sharing their stories, and for their unrelenting advocacy on this issue. And I promise each and every one of you that I will keep doing the work right by your side until we make ours a world where no father, mother, sister, brother, daughter, or son is lost to a traffic incident before their time. I thank you all. And with that, I will now turn the podium over to one of our great champions, period, and certainly of this legislation. Please help me welcome dear friend and great leader, Senator Pat Dignan.
There's very little I can say to, in any way, shape, or form, expand upon what the governor has already alluded to. When I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, and what you said, Governor, every day you look at the newspaper, every day you read about a tragic death that was avoidable. This is the beginning of my 23rd year in the legislature. I can actually tell you without doubt that I have never felt prouder to be an advocate for a particular piece of legislation. But I'm having difficulty coming up with words. The governor mentioned the word hero. You know, hero is a very difficult term to define, but you know one when you see one. Sangeeta, Pam, Arlen, I mean, your advocacy in the face of such tragedy is simply beyond comprehension to me. Beyond comprehension. You are the definition of a hero. You are the definition of a saint, somebody that is going to make the world better for others. And I am just so proud to be part of making this happen. I'm so proud to have met you, and God bless you, and God bless your loved ones.
Pat, thank you so much, not just for your words, but for your leadership on this and so many other fronts. As good as it gets. And last but not, we're going to be very economical today because we have a very important bill to sign and a lot of pens to give out. Last but not least, I want to welcome to come on up and say a few words another outstanding leader, in this case from the General Assembly, speaking on behalf of his colleagues, Assemblyman Rob Karabinchak.
As the governor implied, I'm going to be quick. This is obviously such an important day, and I'm humbled and honored to be here with all of you here today in this room and all of the people outside of this room that are going to see this and listen to it and and feel how important safety is for our roadways. Today is going to be monumental. This is a team effort from the whole entire state, that all of the collective agencies, groups, commissioners, all the people below them are going to focus on safety. My heart and my soul and my prayers are out to everyone who's lost someone. And this is something that will hopefully be a piece of a little bit of peace in your minds with this signing of this law today. Thank you and God bless.
Rob, thank you as well. Again, to each and every one of you, God bless you all. I think with no further ado, we should get right down to signing this law. Come on down. We were doing a little bit of other business on the side.
I had to get that in for the 4 hours with the other day. I promise I do it.
Let me do this without my glasses, even though I can't see a thing. One shot here. Let's see you again. Okay, you ready? Okay. This is Assembly Bill 1476, sponsored in the Assembly by Rob Karabinchak, the aforementioned John Allen, Linda Carter, the aforementioned Anthony Varelli, and in the Senate by Pat Dignan and Senator Raj McCurdy. Raj is not here. And the synopsis. This is a simple one. It established New Jersey Target Zero Commission. Again, that will be chaired by Fran O'Connor, our Commissioner of the Department of Transportation. The objective is to bring these tragedies to zero by the year 2040, and hopefully, God willing, we can get there sooner. Okay. I'm going to be economical on what I sign here. Again, first up is the woman on my left, Sangeeta Badlani, who's the founder of the Nikhil Badlani Foundation and Families for Safe Streets, New Jersey. God bless you. I think we may have broken the record on the number of pens here. Arlen Makasiev, who we've heard from, he's an advocate and a bike crash survivor. Arlen, where'd you go? Down here. Is this your family? Here you go. Hello, guys. Can we get a picture afterward? You okay? Okay. We'll include Dad, too. Oh, I love that. That man right there?
Yeah, that one right there.
Senator Pat Dignan. Pat, where are you? Right here. Good job, buddy. Thank God my name isn't like Bob Smith. Assemblyman Rob Karabinchak. Give me a couple extras, please. Okay. The so-called Viking fireman, Steve Dunn. Are you here, Steve? Come on, man. How can I miss you? God bless you. Thank you. Pam, you're up next, right?
That's me.
Representing the Catch You Later Foundation,
Correct.
God bless her, Pam O'Donnell, right to my right. God bless you. You and I will talk about Callahan later. Larry Kleins, who's a member of the Families for Safe Streets, New Jersey. Larry?
I'm representing my daughter, Emily.
God bless you,
I
Emma.
believe you daughter.
Same name.
And I went to school with Pat too, so we can talk.
Is that true?
I got some stories about that. Yes, yes. My father was a Marine, and my father-in-law was a Marine also.
How old was Emma?
She was going to be 17. Was in Monmouth County as well.
Where?
On the Union Transportation Trail, which is I'm more in western Monmouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's considered a rural area, but
Yeah.
I guess when they built the trail, the upgrades weren't made as the area got built up, and this is what this bill addresses, as our
Sure.
congestion and our population grows.
How many years ago?
This coming up on 2 years, February 17th, so it's tough.
Well,
Thank you for
all
this.
Emma's.
Has restored some of my faith.
Well, we're going to do our best, I promise you that, Larry. Okay. I've now almost forgotten how to spell my name here. Corey Hannigan, who's an active transportation program manager, Tri-State Transportation Campaign. Corey, thanks, man. God bless you, and thank you for everything you do. The aforementioned Deborah Kagan from the New Jersey Bike and Walk Coalition. Deborah, long time. How have you been? I'm good.
Thank you so much.
My honor. Again, I thank Brendan for introducing us. I know it's the 13th because I have to give my speech on the 14th. John Boyle, Research Director, Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. John, how are you, buddy? Okay. You had a good day for the Eagles yesterday. Yeah, looks fantastic. I agree 100% with Pam.
You can thank the Giants for that one.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
We gave you Saquon.
Fran O'Connor, Commissioner of the Department of Transportation. Fran, congratulations. The aforementioned Commissioner of Essex County, dear friend, great leader, Brendan Gill. That's funny. As I said, I see more of your wife these days than I see of you. Didn't come out right. County executive, another great leader in Hudson County, Craig Guy. Craig, right here. How you been? Great. God bless you. Most densely populated county in America. So this, think about, it's both the rural places where you lost Emma and the places where we're living on top of each other. Where Craig is. Is Wendy Kukowski here? Wendy, God bless you. Who's this?
So this is my life partner, Oscar, from retention.
God bless you.
She's 5 years in January 3rd.
Ah,
And
who's
I've
this?
been in Pittsburgh.
okay.
And I've been in New Jersey Safe Coast, which is legacy.
God bless you.
And especially with this, and I've been in this Catholic job. You have the best district routine legislators. I can say that.
God bless you. Thank you, and God bless him. Is Sandor Barksa here? Yes. Sandor? How are you, man? Who do you have here with you?
His wife.
Is your wife? God bless her.
60 years.
What was her name? Her name? Eva. That's the least I can do. I'm gonna, just because this is the first bill I've signed this year, I just realized. I'm gonna do one for Varelli, who's one of the sponsors who's here. Come on down, Anthony. Let's hear it for Anthony Varelli. How are you, buddy? And John, come on down. John Allen, another sponsor. Congratulations. And I'm happy to say, I hope I didn't skip anybody. I'm happy to say, unequivocally, this is now the law of the land. team shot? Behind you. I want you to realize that. Can I go to Bill back?